So you probably picked up on it from Janelle's beautiful treatment that it is our 25th anniversary. Yeah. We had a big party planned for last Friday night, and I want to thank Mark and everybody that worked so diligently to put together the elements of an amazing thing that didn't happen. But it's all right. You know what I figured out, and I haven't said this to anyone, but it came to me this morning as I was waking up. They said, well, we'll have that party later in the year. And I'm going, but it's not our anniversary. That was in January. But what? Well, no. So what I think we'll do is we'll have that big party when Barbara's coming back. Yeah. So I'm not going to go through the whole story, but I just, to remind those of you, or to tell those of you that don't know, 25 years ago, it was January 15th, 1995, we opened up our home. As Janelle mentioned in the treatment, we had 30 folding chairs. Well, she didn't say the folding part, but we had 30 folding chairs that we went to Office Depot and bought. And freaked me out when Barbara pulled all the tabs off, those things that are on all new furniture, because you can't take them back if you pull those tags off. And we didn't. Some of those chairs may still be around here. Be careful. But it was a lovely start on a very cold winter morning, and that's what we looked like back then. That was in our little living room in Fairview, and there was somebody in every one of those seats. It was, and it's interesting. It sounds like humble beginnings with 30 people, but would you agree, Dr. Sharon, that 30 people on the very first Sunday of any community is a great start? So it was a good start. And I just want to remind you that this stroke does not define Barbara. In fact, this stroke is giving Barbara an opportunity to have an even bigger story and a bigger impact on the world. And she knows that. She knows that very well. And she does send her love to you. And she does wish she could be here. And she really wants to come home. And she will when the time is right. And it won't be long. And on Wednesday, as she and I celebrated our memories of that 25 years, I love you. Okay, enough of that. We have a guest here this morning, and I want to brag on her for a minute. I've known Sharon Hudson for 20 years. And immediately when we met, I knew she was somebody extraordinary. She founded a church down in the San Diego area of Southern California, Light of Life Church, and did great work with that church. But she also has so many talents and abilities. She's a technical wizard. And Devon, if you wanted to spend a few minutes with this woman, knows so much stuff. You'd have a great conversation. She also has a strong background in financial matters. So she was like this perfect person to serve in our movement. And so she did, and was the ecclesiastical representative for Southern California, the most dense district of centers in the world. And served those communities for years in that work. And she and I did a lot of work there as well. We were sent off to work with communities here and there to help them get back on the straight and narrow, as you might say. And it was always an incredible honor to work with Sharon. But here's the story that just cracked my heart wide open about this woman. There's a minister in our movement named Catherine Economo. She was an assistant minister at Seaside with Christian Sorensen in the San Diego area, and then went to Temecula and took that community there and became their senior minister. She was also the dean of the School of Ministry in Southern California. And Catherine has been here with us because her parents lived down in Greenville. And on the Sundays that she was here, I always got her to come up with the practitioners and do treatment for people. An incredible woman. A powerful woman. And she got cancer. And because she needed to focus her entire life on healing that, she needed someone to step in for her at her community. So she called Sharon. And I got to tell you, that community not only survived while Catherine did her good healing work, it thrived. This woman knows how to guide a community of people who are on the path of awakening to some incredible things, and has always impressed me by who she is. Now, the last thing I'll tell you about her is that she is the field leader of Centers for Spiritual Living, which was the last job I had. And so she is doing that work in the world. She's been doing it the last 2 years, and this term she has at least one more year. And we are blessed today to have her with us. So I want to invite Dr. Sharon Hudson to please come and share with us.
I love you so much. You brought tears to my eyes. Ooh, good morning. Centers for Spiritual Living, Asheville. Oh my gosh. Let me just see you. The presence of God right here, right now. Thank you. Yeah, show me you. I want to see you. Yeah, I want you to know I'm here to celebrate you and to celebrate your ministers, your ministry, your community, because you are touching lives beyond your wildest dreams. You are a ripple of love and awareness, divine awareness going around the planet right here from Asheville, from this community. And so I'm here to celebrate your 25 years and my love of your beloved ministers. I love both of them so deeply. And it's true, they are the visionaries, they are the leaders, and it takes a lot. It takes a lot to step into ministry and do that for this long. And it takes more than them, the leaders, it takes you. So you are really important to what's happening for them, in them, through them, and through each other. That connection we have in spiritual community helps us grow into who we really are, doesn't it? Into the awareness of our own divinity and the ability to see that in others, even when they're driving you crazy. Not that anyone ever would do that, of course, but there is something that grounds you in our teaching, just makes you so whole that no matter what's going on in the outer world, you're so centered up that you bring a presence of powerful peace, a presence that is absolutely healing, actually just the energy. It blows my mind how the world works, how this dynamic, creative universe works, how God works, and how our energy, the energy we bring to any situation, transforms it by our very presence. It brings physical healing. So I guess I should get on with I have a talk. That wasn't it. But I have to tell you, when I sat here and just went through the opening part of your service, I thought, well, I don't need to say anything. They got it here. There's nothing for me to say. So I'm a little bit of a storyteller. You might hear a story, I don't know. So let's move on to joy is my compass. Joy is my compass. You know, I'm going to just go to the next slide because I don't like to look at my notes. I'd rather look up there. So here's the thing about joy. Joy is a quality of being. And I think of the Dalai Lama because no matter what he's been through, there is this joyful, simply joyful, grounded presence in him. And that is our true nature. Each one of us, no matter what's going on in the outer world, that joy is natural just as the love within us is. But I like to focus on joy because it is my guide. It shows me the way. It is whatever it is. Oh, it's vital to your well-being. It's actually, living in joy heals your body. Did you know that when you smile at someone, the neural peptides that boost your immune system go woo, and they boost your immune system? Did you know? You probably already knew that, right? And not only that, even if you don't smile back, when someone smiles at you, your body has the same reaction to someone smiling at you, even if you don't do it. We are powerful. Like I said, we're so connected. And our body's responsive to what's happening. And there's an energetic that changes everything. So it's vital to your well-being. There was a time when my mother had an enlarged heart, and she was in and out of the hospital for probably, I want to say, a year and a half, 18 months, maybe 2 years. And, you know, I don't usually do this, so, you know, you don't have to run out and do this for the things that might be happening to your friends and relatives and neighbors. But I thought, well, I should look in Louise Hay's book. I actually had a really old dog-eared copy that my mom had given me years ago. So I looked it up, and let's see. Oh, it doesn't say there. It says here. I have to tell you exactly what she says. Hey, let me do this, and I won't have to keep running around. So Louise Hay said this. I thought it was kind of cool. She said, heart, you look up heart, and it says lack of joy, belief in strain and stress. Lack of joy. So I called my mom, and my mom studied for the ministry in Science Mind. I've been in this since I was 12. It is my life. It is my life, and it's like I live, breathe, and move in this. And so she was a spiritual guide because she's the one that found it when I was 12. We were Catholic before that, and that's a wonderful thing too. But so she's up on this stuff. So I said, Mom, I looked up heart in Louise Hay, and this is what she said. She said it's a lack of joy. I don't know if I told her the stuff. I don't like to say the word strain and stress, so I probably left that out. And she said, oh, you're right. And of course, we both were thinking of Norman Cousins and how he just laughed himself, watched comedies, got himself well, right? She said the funniest thing. She said, our family never did have much of a sense of humor. And it's actually kind of true. And I married a very playful man because he's the youngest one in his family. And I'm the one that's like the responsible, get it done, And he's the one that's just playful. He does. And so it was to balance me out. So I'm way more, I have more of a sense of humor than I did growing up. Let's just put it that way. Hopefully. So here's what she did. She consciously heard that and did it. Started to focus on laughing and feeling joy, because you don't even have to do anything to feel joy. You can tune into joy. And she started doing that, and here's the interesting thing. The next time she went back and had those tests on her heart was back to normal size. Yeah. Her heart was back to normal size. This is how it works. And so she said to the doctor, how do you think that happened? And he said, I don't know. And she said to me, I know. She went on from there without any hospital visits for years and years and years. Years and years and years. This stuff really works. So how about let's just live in joy, get joy. And I want to kind of go to, well, okay, what gets us joy? How can we be more joyful? The first thing, well, I'm going to tell you a story because I like stories. So this rabbi's walking along in the dark, late at night, deep in thought and sort of prayerfully just walking, and all of a sudden he kind of almost bumps into this big wall, and he looks up, and there's like a turret up there with a guard in it. And he's standing there just looking up, and this voice comes down, who are you and what are you doing there? The rabbi didn't say a word. This is a very ancient story. And then the guard yells down, more seriously, who are you and what are you doing there? Still no answer. And finally he really lets him have it. Who are you and what are you doing down there? How much do they pay you for doing that? 10 shillings. I will pay you twice as much if you come to my house every day and ask me those 2 questions. So who are you and what are you doing here? That's the theme for the day. Who are you and what are you doing here? And it's about us knowing who we are, isn't it? And it's so easy to get stuck forgetting. We forget who we are. We are amazing. I think I have another slide here. Oh, yeah, this was, I forgot to tell you my mom's affirmation. Duh. I just get carried away talking and connecting to you. So this is the affirmation from Louise Hay that I read to my mother. Joy, joy, joy. I lovingly allow joy to flow through my mind, my body, and my experience. Would you like to just say that with me? Let's just feel it. Okay, ready? Joy, joy, joy. I lovingly allow joy to flow through my mind and body and experience. You feel that in your body? That's even better than a smile. It's going to just wake it up and heal it. Woo! I should probably look at my notes so I know really what the next slide's going to be.
I don't.
You don't look at your notes? Yeah, I know you just get connected, don't you? So this comes from Emma Curtis Hopkins. And I kind of like the first sentence. The good that is for you seeks you and will come flying to you. Will come flying to you if you see that what you love is love itself. All people will change when you know that they are love. So if you have a problem with someone else, if we just stop and see that everything unlike love is what? Some of you know this, a call for love. Actually, this goes back to the Course in Miracles that I did 1,000 years ago, because I'm really, really old. Not really. But that when anything unlike love that comes at me, when there's discord of any kind, I'm so often remember and aware that it is always a call for love. And I can absolutely go into this place of loving them, and I do this magic thing. I'll just tell you, I wasn't going to tell you this, but I will. I see like a beam of love connecting me to that person. I see them lighting up with the truth of who they are. It's a powerful practice. When I was working in for a technology company, and there were some challenging things going on in the company, I came to work one day, and I just walked down the hallway, and I beamed love into every office I went by. And I know it made a difference. Of course, that company is thriving, and it began to thrive with my arrival, I'm sure. So here we go. All people would change when you know they are love. We shall change toward all people when we know that we ourselves are formed out of love. All is love. So I think love is the foundation for that joy. But we can go to joy, we're automatically in love. Someone once said that wherever love is, God is. Wherever God is, love is. It's true for joy as well. We're aligned with the divine, yes? It's a fabulous thing. And so my work is to constantly tune into the awareness of the presence of God everywhere. It's like there's a song, "Everything is holy now." And that just touches my heart, because I can look out and see and feel that sense that everything is holy. You are holy. You are the presence of the divine. You know, I love it that the saying, the ground on which you stand is holy ground, because wherever you are is the presence. It doesn't have anything to do with the ground itself, but the whole ground is holy. Everything is holy. There's also a song, "You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the presence of spirit on earth. All you do," I can't remember, "everything you say, everything you do, you are the voice of God." It's like remembering that all the time. And so my spiritual practice isn't so much in my head and thoughts and thinking things, although I'm a very analytical person. It is sensing into a feeling of how it is. And so here's a little quote from Rabbi Michael Lerner. He says, "Try to imagine yourself as part of the totality of all things, a momentary explosion of God energy, a momentary embodiment of the spiritual energy of the universe, and the force of healing and transformation." Now he says momentary. And what he goes on to say is that you will find your life changing if you spend time doing this. But I like to do it like, let's take out the word momentary. Let's just be it. Let's just see ourselves as part of the totality of all things, as an explosion of God energy here on planet Earth. Wow, yes. So who am I? I'm divine. Who are you? You are divine. What is all? We are one. That's the beginning of the joy thing. I was driving down the road one day in the San Diego area, probably in North County, and I saw this bumper sticker. It said, instantjoydispenser.com. And I had to go look that up, like, okay, because the concept of me being an instant joy dispenser was powerful. And I thought, it would be a spiritual thing. You will be disappointed when you look it up. But the concept of being an instant joy dispenser has never left me. So what it is it's these little containers that dispense sugar, powdered creamer, powdered coffee. You can set up your station in your church so it isn't messy, because, you're not tearing open sugar packets and stuff. It's hilarious. So it's still there, and it's in Vista, California. You can look it up on the internet. I did just to check. It's still there. So I think my goal in life is to go forward being that instant joy dispenser, but most of all being the presence of joy and remembering that that's my nature. That's my nature, no matter what's happening. And frankly, joy, when I say joy is my compass, this is a serious thing, because I shouldn't be serious about joyful things. Let's just beat Sharon up a little. You know, one of the things I've tried to do is remove all the buttons that we sometimes have attached to us. Do you ever have a reaction to things? Well, the hardest button for me to remove was my guilt button. And so I got this idea in my mind, this conscious idea that there could be a button that I could just unscrew and throw down and step on it, right? So I decided that I would do that with my guilt button. And I was just playing around with that idea. And my husband said something to me because I had left the water on. Actually, I left the water sprinklers on for about 3 days one time. We have third of an acre, so they were up on the hill. And some guy came by the house and said, hey, there's water running off your property into the canyon. I thought you might want to know. So it wasn't about that time because John didn't say a word about that. He wouldn't say anything mean because I felt bad enough. You know that. And I live in Southern California. We just finished ending a drought. So it wasn't during the drought, though, just so you know. I wasn't using up all the water people needed to drink and bathe in. So he comes in and he says, you know, something about leaving the sprinkler on too long or something like that. And I said, what you don't know, honey, is that I have removed my guilt button. And you got to be ready to laugh at this because one time I said this and people took it way too seriously, so take this with joy. He said, what you don't know, honey, is I'm the one who can reinstall it. He's playful. He's really fun. He's good. So finally, I want to talk about how you can be in touch with where you want to go in life and what your heart really wants, because that's the secret. So often we have a lot of shoulds and have-tos. Emma Curtis Hopkins says in her writing, my good is my God, and my God is my good. Anybody ever heard that by any chance? Yeah. I thought it sounded good for many years. And I finally woke up and realized what it really meant. And it's powerful, because what it means is that when I'm living what is good, which is really what my heart wants, I'm totally in alignment with the divine. I'm living the divine life. And so to seek our good is our purpose on earth. So who am I and what am I doing here? What we're doing here is we're listening to what does the heart want, because the heart knows the way to total fulfillment in your purpose, your passion, your life, to being who you're here to be, and to being free. And not only that, this should be making your life easy. Whatever you're doing, it should bring you joy. It should give you a sense of freedom. And whatever your heart wants, you know, it's like, are you someone who wants to be creative? Are you someone who likes to do this or that or this? And I don't care if you're working or not. It's about how you spend your life, yes? So it is important to tune in to the heart and to what brings you joy. It's like, is this thing diminishing me, pushing me down, or is it lifting me up? Every experience. If you find yourself having to be around situations, whether they're with people or in workplaces that drain your energy, one of the most important things for you to do is start to seek where you're fed so you can get yourself back in balance, so you can be knowing and remembering who you are. And don't let that drain you. I actually worked with someone that was really toxic, and I literally put up a protective shelter around me so none of that energy could come in. In fact, I just beamed good stuff out through my shield. It only went one way. But so it's like caring for ourselves. Now back to listening to the heart, because that's what this is really all about. To discover what to do in life, what's next, what do I really want? There's a spiritual practice of going inside and asking, you know, what does my heart want? I have found, as time passes, that my questions within are so clearly answered. I get divine guidance in everything. Even just driving someplace. Should I go? Because there's 2 ways I can leave my home and go. And the distance is about the same, but the traffic might be completely different on and I will actually tune in now and figure out and know how the signals will be going here or there. And it works. I tell you, it works. So, and people will say to me, well, how do I know if that's like God talking or, you know, the wisdom of spirit, or if it's just my own mind thinking logically? And here's the bottom line: whatever you believe is what it is. However you make it up, that's how God shows up, that's how life shows up. So if you say, I'm divinely guided and I'll know, whatever comes to you is it. But if you say, I don't know if this is some other force telling me what to do, or if it's my own thinking and my own fears, if you're saying that to yourself, guess what? So instead, just get back in that place where you know there's a power for good and intelligence available and in you always, and you can tune into that. Okay, so back to listening to your heart to see, why am I here? What is next for me? I heard Kathy Ann Lewis talk about this one time. She said, I wanted a horse. It could be that simple. It's all I'm saying. It isn't like, what's my life purpose? It's like, what is my decision for now? And when you get in touch with what your heart really wants, just take a moment and think about, what do you want next? What would lift you up in your life? Just take a moment and think about that. And remember, it shouldn't be something you think you should be doing, like, I'd be happy if I mowed the lawn today. No. Let's go to what's going to light me up. And the truth is, when you get in touch with that, here's where joy shows the way. You cannot help but have a reaction of being uplifted and smiling. And it will bring a smile to your face. So you can always test this and say, is this what I really want to do? And if you're not smiling, if joy is not leading the way, then maybe it's not the place to go. Maybe it's not the time to be there, right? So Emma Curtis Hopkins teaches that knowing what your good is, if once you can get clear about that, you are 80% of the way there. That's the hardest thing, is getting clear about what is mine. What does my heart want? What does it want? What will bring me joy? And then it's very simple. The process that Emma teaches is the second step is to just notice what comes up that tells you you cannot do it. Because sometimes we, in science mind, we tend to go for the positive. I mean, I've done this my whole life. We go for the positive. I'm not going to think about the reasons I can't have it because I want it, so I'm going to go there. But that stuff is sort of lingering under the floorboards. And so Emma's teaching is, and you've heard this at different times, is you need to stand in your strength and the power of truth and speak to that so that it just goes away. Like, if God is not that, then I am not that. And it doesn't matter if you're talking about anything from getting in a relationship and you have some limiting ideas about the possibility, getting into a job and you think you don't have the certificate. I mean, whatever it is, it does not matter. If you know you're the one and this is for you, you need to stand strong and shove the doubt out. You just say, stop, that's not true. In a way, you need to bring it up to the surface so you can get it out, right? And then, it's like our consciousness is this place where every experience, every thought, everything is there. The good stuff, how wonderful you are, how great you are as a musician, how great you are. I want to say a moment about the music of the spheres I heard here. Oh, those bowls. It's heavenly. Thank you for that experience, all you bowl ringers. Okay, back to the consciousness where now there's bowls in there. It's like if you had a jar that had some stuff in it like muddy water, some of the stuff that's not the truth, that isn't the truth of your own divine being. We make mistakes, yeah, and we get hurt, but that isn't reality. That isn't what we want, and that's not who the soul of us is. So it's about us pouring in that clear water of truth and light and constantly doing that. So after we get rid of the stuff, we said we stand in the face of our doubt, and we cast it out. Then we begin to refill that consciousness with high truth. We speak glorious words to ourselves, and we have a sense and a feeling. And Ernest Holmes says two things. He says it's the fire, it's the feeling we put in our treatment, in our prayer, that brings it to life. He also says we should have a calm and confident expectancy of good. A calm and confident expectancy of good. So basically it's cast out the stuff that's not true, fill us up with the truth, the light, and then let go, really. And Emma would say, make a covenant with God that you will do, that I will do what is mine to do, and God will handle the rest of it. And you know what is all that is mine to do? It's to just step forward in faith and do what is before me. I don't have to push. I don't have to effort. I just walk in trust. And of course it will manifest. That and greater things will come to us. They really will. I think I have another cool slide here. Let's see what it says. Oh yeah, joy is my compass. I was going to let you look at that while I said all that other stuff. But you got to look at that other thing. That was good too, right? So this is from Emma. We have only to tell the truth. If the truth makes us free when it is told, and we are not free, then the truth has not been told. And oh, I heard you got that. Thank you. I don't have to explain it to you. Yeah, because the truth is bigger than whatever's not making us free, keeping us from being free. The truth is bigger than what's keeping us from being free. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, I have one final story. This is told by Dwight Nelson, I believe. I have no idea if it's true or not, but I love this story. So this pastor had a kitten. And one day, anybody heard the kitten story? Oh, shoo. New audience, I love that. One day the kitten climbed up a tree, and it was a sapling, so it wasn't, it was not strong enough and the kitten would not come down. He's meowing way up in the tree, and the pastor's trying to coax him down. He even brought milk out, which is not a good idea, frankly. You shouldn't feed your cats milk, but he didn't know. So he's trying to coax the cat down. The kitten's meowing, and it's too weak of a tree for him to climb up, but it's a young tree, but tall. So he decides that he will tie a rope to it and to his car, and then he will pull the tree down and over, and then he'll be able to reach up and get the kitten, right? And so he gets the car and he pulls it down, but it's still not, and he pulls it a little more. It's still not low enough to reach that kitten. The kitten's still going meow, meow. Pulls it down a little more, and boing, the rope breaks. The kitten goes flying. So he starts to search the neighborhood, asking everyone, looking for this kitten. He looks, and he can't find the kitten anywhere. He's looked and looked. So finally he says, God, that kitten, I feel so bad, but that kitten is in your hands. And then sometime later, he's in the grocery store. And he notices this woman has cat food in her cart. And he knows she does not like cats. Not at all. And you know where this is going, don't you? So she had this little girl that really wanted a cat. And she kept begging for a cat, and Mom's like, no, we're not having a cat. And finally, Mom said, well, if God gives you a cat, you can keep it. So she says, you won't believe it, Pastor. She went out in the front yard and kneeled down and started praying, and this cat came flying down from heaven. So there you go. So you can have whatever your heart desires, just so you know. Even if it's a kitten. Oh, I feel so blessed. So will you just take a moment to go within with me and feel joy? And just open heart and mind to the presence of love, the presence of joy, the presence of laughter and connection, the presence of supporting and caring for one another. This is God. This is who we are. And I take a moment to just affirm that whatever the desire is in the heart of each person here, and those around the world who may be desiring something, wanting something, that there is a power moving through us and through the universe to absolutely solve every problem, to bring what is needed to hand. And I invite you, if you wish, if there's anything going on you'd like to be on the other side of, something you desire to bring into your life or something you think it's time to let go of, or something that feels a little difficult in the middle to get on the other side of it, I want you to just take a moment with me and step to the other side and imagine it's already handled. It's already handled. The relationship is healed and loving. Money is flowing in. The body is responding physically, knows how to be in a healthy, natural state, and is now that. Circulation is perfect. Breathing is easy. Every part, every molecule knows its healthy state of being. And the wisdom of the divine, the power of God, is moving everything into that. So as we live and expand the awareness of how it is to already be on the other side, we know that just simply manifests easily and effortlessly. And we don't see any path from here to there that is anything other than peaceful, joy-filled, light, and miracles are happening. With a joyful heart, I accept that the words spoken here are already done. This is simply the way it is. It is the truth. It is the way. And joy leads us. And will you join me as we affirm together by saying, and so it is. Praise God.
Hi, I'm Barbara Waterhouse.
And I'm John Waterhouse. Thank you for watching this message today.
Through our website, cslasheville.org. We have over 1,000 messages, classes, and New Thought books, all to download at no charge to anyone.
Producing this incredibly valuable collection of ideas is really making a difference in the world. It's changing lives everywhere.
Please go to our website, cslasheville.org, and click the Donate button. You can support this life-changing ministry, and when you do, we'll send you a note of thanks and also put you on our daily prayers.
By doing this, you're helping to raise the consciousness of people across the entire globe. We're changing lives together, those lives that are being more prosperous, more healthy, and more joyous. Thank you for being a part of this important work and supporting what we do here at CSL Asheville.
Thank you.